What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with another video. Today, North Digital Assets turns 1 year old, so it is an anniversary day, a special day. North Digital Assets viewed in 1 year, 130,039 times. Videos viewed, 60 countries. Number 1, United States. Number 2, United Kingdom. Number 3, Australia, the English-speaking countries. And then we go into some of these other countries: India, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, Nigeria, Turkey, South Korea, France, Belgium. You have these different counts down here, all the way down to even some people in Bulgaria, Serbia, Japan, Denmark, Croatia viewing my videos for a little bit of time here, 3-4 minutes at a time, average view duration. So North Digital Assets turns 1 year old. If you want to look at the top cities, number 1, click that off. Number 1 is London. Most views, then Sydney, Los Angeles, New York, and then Singapore coming in 5th. So most views coming out of one single city. Ended up with 2,738 subscribers. So thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to everyone watching the channel, even though the market's been kind of cold. We've been trying to make our best calls for a macro view on this market. Thank you to the subscribers. Smash up the like button for North Digital Assets 1 year anniversary. I know you usually don't hit the like button. Hit the like button this time on this video. Thank you. So we're going to dive into the Bitcoin chart, and what we've been talking about here for a long time here is the bottom of the bear here, December 2018, January 2019, give or take here, where that is the bottom of the market. You have a wave 1 up. You have a wave 2 down into March 2020 COVID crash. You have a wave 3 up, 64,000 April 2021. And then what we've been talking about here is a wave 4 down, a sideways massive correction, either a DXY correction to the side or some sort of irregular expanded correction that we've been talking about here. And then we're talking about a potential wave 5 up, to around $145,000 Bitcoin, give or take, in that range between 130,000 and 200,000. We've been talking about for a while, and we're still talking about that. And with this theory and with this thesis, I've seen comments talking about, we're in a bear market, Are you going to admit you're wrong? No, I'm not. We would have to see a breakdown, and we'd have to see a break below this one level. And the same way that this was not a bear market, this is still on the table as possibly not a bear market, that it's just a massive ABC correction, WXY irregular type correction. So we're still waiting on that to see where does the price action go next. So that's what we're waiting on. So possibly the same way that this was not a bear market into March 2020 when people said it was dead, it wasn't. The same way, because look what you got. It was a correction within a bull market. You have an impulsive wave, correction in a bull market, impulsive wave, possible correction in a bull market, impulsive wave, then the bear market again. So we're waiting to see that still. So no, I'm not going to really admit anything. So what I will say here is the two scenarios in the battle that we're kind of trying to figure out is Bitcoin going to get the volume and the momentum, the news and the news cycle, the FOMO, all that good stuff? Is it going to go up to 28, 29, find that heavy resistance that we've been talking about that's acted as support in the past, find that heavy resistance, correct back down, back to around 23,000, 24,000 where we're at now, give or take, and then start to move up and crack through this, find support, and start that wave 5 that we've all been waiting on? Is that going to happen? Or is 28, 29 going to act as resistance? We are going to roll back down to that $15,000, $14,000, $12,000, $10,000 Bitcoin again, and this actually is a bear market. Well, we don't know that yet. We'll have to wait and see, and that's the million-dollar question. That really, I don't think anyone knows. That is the million-dollar question. If that was the movement, then you would basically be saying that this is a 1, 2, 3, we're coming up on a 4, and then you would dump into that 5, and that would complete the correction down here. And that's the hard call to make, because if you can make this call, obviously you can sell all your stuff out of here and you can buy in much lower like all the bears want. That's not necessarily going to happen, and we're talking about probabilities right now. So we're waiting. So we've drawn this out a few different ways. Personally, I think I am going to take some profits of my coins that I bought on these lows when Bitcoin was under 20,000. Bitcoin was 20,000, etc. When we do pump up into this range, which I still see a target of 26.5 up to 28, if you can hold support. It's all a game of probabilities. If we can get back up into this range here, that is when I will sell some coins, take some profits, and see if that's heavy resistance at 28.29 and roll back down. I'm not going to sell all my stuff, not even close. I'm going to hold my XRP and I'm going to hold my Cardano for sure. I'm not going to be doing anything with those. It's dangerous, in my opinion, to sell XRP. So I'm going to be holding I'm going to be holding at least 50% of my coins, even if we do pump up into this 28-29 region. Sure, I'll take some profits on things like Blocktopia, possibly coins like VeChain, which I'm mega bullish on VeChain. Buy more VeChain. I'm going to be taking profits on some of my different altcoins, possibly like Curve and API3, some of those coins that I hold in this range, and see if that's going to be massive resistance. We'll correct back down a little bit, possibly back to the range we're at now, because remember, it's always waveforms, okay? And buy back in, risky, again, not necessarily going to happen. It's possible that you do just crack through this and find the support later. I mean, you resistance, third time's a charm, and then you start finding this as support. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as current price action, what's going on here, let's go to the 4-hourly. And I want to reset the chart for you, and I want to remove drawings. And I want to say this again, like we're always talking about these waveforms. That's why the market kind of messes with your head, waveforms. And you see the waveforms through here on the 4-hourly, and you continually find support, and then you're moving up. And in this, on the 4-hourly, a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, high, higher high, higher high, higher high. So with that said, the next higher high could be in the range of this 25,000 area if we get it. And eventually you're going to end up being able to break. Let's do a straight trend line. Eventually what you want is you want to end up being able to break out of this channel, okay? And that would be mega bullish. I mean, this is a little bit sloppy here, just run this channel in real quick, but at some point when you go to mega higher high, you want to break out of it. Now let me talk about something that many people are not talking about, the title of this video, okay? The DXY, we need to talk about this. I put up, let's go to the daily, I put up a drawing the other day talking about on my Twitter, this was the DXY drawing I had. And basically on the daily, what I'm saying is that I wanted it to, it was floating up here above the 55 EMA up here. What I wanted to see is for it to come down to the 55 EMA, bounce off it, try to come back up, hit a trend line and roll back down, get a dead cat bounce on the daily time frame, which would translate up to the weekly time frame, okay? And so far we do have what I just showed to an extent, not perfect. But yes, we were up in here somewhere. We rolled right down to the 55 EMA, tapped off of it, boomed up, and that's what we're looking at now. If it can't get enough support and starts to roll, it would be exactly that dead cat bounce I showed. And part of the reasoning with that is if you go to the weekly and look here, like I've said, this thing's been running for a long time without retesting the EMAs on the weekly. And again, not many people are talking about this. We're talking about with Bitcoin, this battle between, is 28K going to be the resistance, and then we dump to like a 15,000 Bitcoin, a $12,000 Bitcoin. Well, this is what people aren't talking about. This DXY scenario here, if we can get this DXY to roll for weeks and come down to these levels, which is natural for it to do, down to this 20 EMA, down to this 55 EMA, if we can get that, that would be a can of gas fuel to help Bitcoin and help crypto in the crypto market to break through this 28, to hit it as resistance, and then break through because the DXY is correcting. And as you remember, the DXY typically in almost in every Bitcoin bull run, the DXY is correcting during that entire time, okay? They move inversely, okay? All of them. And so naturally, you've been floating above these EMAs. You were floating up here in the green, way above the 20 and way above the 55, and you're always going to come back to them. They are like magnets. We've always talked about that. So if you get that on the daily, you get that a little bit of momentum up, and then you find that resistance start to roll, dead cat bounce in the daily, it'll start to translate to falling to this 20 EMA, possibly falling through it and coming down to the 55 EMA, which would be massive crypto news. So this could be the hidden factor in the background that helps crypto on that next run. And we'll see if there's some sort of quantitative easing where the government starts printing money again, and that helps crypto run also. We will see. But what I have to say is this DXY not a lot of people are talking about. It is due for a correction in the weeks ahead, months ahead, to at some point come and test this 55 EMA. It always does. You see it all through here. You see it all through here. You tap it here. You fall through it here after a massive run. You tap it. You have a little bit more in the tank. You fall through it. You have a little bit more, and eventually you come back down. It's a correction. A, B, C. You get these corrections, these patterns. Even though this isn't a stock, this isn't a company, this isn't a crypto. I get that, but it's still these charts move. This chart moved just like the other charts, and it does come back to test these. So that's what we're kind of waiting on. Anyways, Bitcoin bullish. Waiting to see what's going to happen. Again, circled this weeks ago. You see when the stock RSI spends a good amount of time on the weekly time frame. You see when it spends a good amount of time here at the bottom, like 42 days we kept talking about. Eventually it is going to break and it will start to move up, and that's what we've been seeing. And the blue line is obviously out here leading the pink line, very vertical. Weeks ahead should still be pretty decent for Bitcoin based on, I mean, this is a very simple view, but based on what I'm seeing here, we will wait and see what happens with 28, 29. If you're worried, there's another dump, then pull your money out at 28, 29. Personally, I'm going to keep a lot of my crypto. I'll probably take some profit, but I'm going to keep a good portion of what I have, continue to hold. Wait for the next run, wait for support, wait to break that 28, 29, 30, see what happens. We need more data to gather. I don't think anyone knows. That's the point. No one knows. There is very good experts, TA, analysts on both sides, and you can find with confirmation bias which one you think on both sides that are very good. People from both sides that have made really good calls and have been right when everyone else is wrong in the past. So it's very hard to navigate right now. We're in a very complex, very complicated part of the market where we don't know yet what exactly the market is going to do. But overall, definitely bullish. I think we are way closer to the bottom than the top. So just wait, and we are bullish. Definitely macro bullish. Crypto will run. Crypto's not going anywhere. Crypto will go crazy again, and it'll make these prices look like they were free, especially things like VeChain and XRP and Cardano later. Those prices, the prices today in the future years ahead will look like it was almost free to buy it now and to buy it over the last month or two. So keep that in mind. Zoom out, macro view, hold, and the market will continue kind of messing with your head, and its waveforms always kind of comes back. But let's continue to be patient. Thank you to everyone watching the channel over the last year. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Thank you, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.